Up is a 2009 film by Pixar Animation Studios. Carl Fredricksen marries his love of the life and who lives happily ever after. The couple saves a lot of money to fulfill their dream, but somehow their tries saving enough gets shattered, and as time flees they get old enough that Carl's wife Ellie is on her last days. Ellie gives her adventure book and the poor old Carl lives with the memories of Ellie without fulfillment of their dream, but one day he meets Russell, a kid by who changes his fate. So did Carl gonna fulfill the dream with memories of Ellie? If yes, how? Well, you have to watch the movie to know that the story takes a very good turn at every point and engages with the audience. It connects with the viewer, whatnot.
Batman is a DC movie released in 2022. Once there used to be in Dark City Gotham. In Gotham City's underworld reveals a sadistic killer who murders brutally the top G's in the city, and the crime rate in the city goes on up. The killer slips on the riddles and Batman along with Catwoman tries to solve one by one, which leads him to Riddler. So who is the Riddler, why the murders, how the Batman stops him and unmasks the culprit is the movie. The story and direction is totally in dark theme. Undoubtedly an excellent movie. Robert Pattinson gave one of his best performance ever and Zoe Kravitz nailed the role too. If you are a dark and action thriller fan, this movie is for you. The story starts with narration of a death row guard, Paul Edgecombe. The Green Mile follows the events in Cold Mountain Penitentiary of Louisiana following the arrival of a murder refusal, John Coffey. John Coffey is a loner. John is found crying with the dead bodies of two young girls in his arms. The father of the girls accuses John for the murdering of the children, and due to this reason John Coffey is sent to prison. Paul, the cell in charge of John, gets to know that John isn't an ordinary man, but he has some supernatural abilities, and he realizes that John is innocent. So could he prove John is innocent? So how the story rolls is to be seen by yourself. The story gets you emotional and the ending is really dramatic. The story starts at a funeral of old woman Ellen. Annie, the daughter of Ellen, gives a funeral speech and the characters are introduced by her. The story of Hereditary mainly revolves around four characters: Annie the mother, Steve husband of Annie, Peter their son, and a very interesting character, their daughter Charlie. Charlie has a very keen connection with her Grammy. Also, she is the one who really feels bad about her death. After the death of her Grammy, everything around the house is very weird. One day Charlie dies very strangely in a car accident. Was it really a car accident though? After the demise of Charlie, Annie couldn't bear the tragic deaths of her own people. One day, by an advice from a stranger, she insists to contact the spirit of Charlie. After the trial of contact, everything in her home gets much more weirder. There is no place for peace. The main characters gets haunted and nothing makes sense why until the climax. So what happens to Annie and Steve and Peter? Well, you have to watch the movie and get known. Hereditary isn't another horror movie. It's a dark psychological thriller with dark visuals. I'll never let go. The classic Titanic. Well, who doesn't know Titanic? Jack and Rose, two teens who met on a cruise, falls in love with each other. Titanic is the world's largest cruise which hits an iceberg and sinks. Rather the story of sunken ship, it's a story about love and sacrifice. Titanic is combo of mind-bending visuals and great narration. So it's our anime. Superhero. Drama.
I don't like this. Dad, I don't like this.
What's happening? Peter!
And romantic.
I'm getting off with you.
Please show your love by clicking subscribe, and we will bring the next one of the top 5 series and comment her fave.